and start our call. I get it? Good. Okay. I'm not Cindy Walter. I'm Susan Wheeler. I'm filling in for Cindy tonight. And she is away and preparing for Celebration to have an event where everybody's going to be watching together there in Michigan. And I hope you guys all have an event to attend. And if not, attend yourself. We're going to be kind of chatting about it in HHP, etc. So that is coming up this weekend. And tonight for our call, we have Eric Johnson from TEAMZY, and he's going to do a training for us. And there's Eric, if you can see him in the middle of our screen here. And before we get started, I just want to give a little testimony for TEAMZY. So I'm trying to think when I started. It had to be last October or November. I really can't remember. But at the time, I was finishing writing my book, and I was very busy. Of course, we were going to the holidays, and my book was finished being written. I was busy editing it, and all the work. I mean, so much work goes into the last 3 months when you think you're done writing. So I signed up for TEAMZY because I thought, my isogenics business is my bread and butter, and that's my business. My book was my passion, my dream. It was to help me with my coaching and speaking, but I did not want to neglect my isogenics business. So I thought, well, I'm going to give this TEAMZY a try. And I have to tell you, not only did TEAMZY help me not neglect my business, but my income has doubled since I started using TEAMZY. And I'm gonna say, so they do, I call it the power hour still, but back in the beginning, a few years ago, before we had anything like this, we had sheets that we did, and I created, it was called a power hour, and we had all our tasks to do. And so it was a great concept, but what I love most about TEAMZY is how it tells you who to talk to next. Your names always come up. Whereas on this other sheet, you're constantly trying to figure out, well, who do I add to the sheet? Who did I talk to yesterday? So although I knew inherently that this was a great concept, it never really worked for me because I was not able to figure out how to make it work in such a way. So TEAMZY saved me, you guys. And not only did it save me and keep me on track, my business is busier and stronger than it was a year ago. So I am a believer. I hope you all really listen to Eric. It costs $1 a day, you guys, and we really don't have many expenses in isogenics. To run your isogenics business, there is not great overhead. We're eating our overhead, literally. We're paying $29 or $39 or whatever it is a year for our website, and we're basically not spending. You don't have to spend any money. So do this. It's a write-off. But beyond that, you guys, it is invaluable. It is an invaluable tool. So I'm going to be taking notes along with Eric tonight. So everybody give it a listen. And I'm just super excited. Thank you so much, Eric, for joining us. And I think you have the ability to share your screen.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Susan. That was awesome. I'm so glad to hear that you've doubled your income in 9-10 months. That's so cool. I love that. I'd like to see that happen for everybody on this call and watching it on replay. How cool would that be? So as she mentioned, my name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of TEAMZY. I am so excited to be with y'all tonight. And I want to just squeeze as much as I can into the little bit of time that we have together. And so I apologize in advance if it feels like you're sipping water from a fire hose tonight. But make sure that you have, something to take notes on, because I'm just going to give you as much as I can in the time we have. Here's my plan. I want to talk to you about how to really leverage the relationship marketing approach to the business, which TEAMZY is a tool to help you do that. I think you guys will find that it already synchronizes a bit with how you like to work. And then I'm going to show you the TEAMZY system, how easy it is to set up. I'll take you through the workflows of doing a power hour. And some of you are already using TEAMZY, which is awesome. I guarantee you, you will still get a ton of value from the training tonight. And then at the end, when we're done, you can either go to bed or hang out and ask questions. I'll hang out and answer questions live for you guys. Sound good? All right, cool. I know some of you, it'll be late. Leonie's coming in from Australia, so it's early morning. She's gonna probably be hanging out with me at the end. See, that's how it's gonna work. All right, so let me share my screen with you guys. Oh no, wait, it does say that I don't have, Susan, I don't have the permission yet. So if you wanna just make me co-host, I won't do
Okay,
anything.
so what would I do, Eric?
Go to, at the bottom, go to participants.
Yep.
And then click on me and you'll have a little menu there. You can make me a co-host and then I'll be able to do everything.
Got it. I'm changing host, it says. So you'll just have to give it back to me after. How's that?
That's fine.
Okay.
I promise I will.
I'm not worried.
Now that I'm host, we're going to talk about, no, I'm just kidding. It's all good. All right, so let's dive into this training. Here we go. So the first topic I want to talk about is systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. And I'm going to kind of break this down. There's 3 pieces to the title. It's long because this is what I want to talk about. One is you've got to have a system to follow. We're going to talk about that tonight. And it's one thing to know what to do. It's another thing to have a system to follow. Make sense? The next piece is that relationship marketing is the key because relationships are the key to the business. And the third piece is getting it done in less than an hour a day. How many of you have busy lives? Yes, it's so important. All right, so a little backstory on me. I know some of you know me, some of you don't. My background is actually not direct sales network marketing. I come from the coaching and consulting industry. I've been a professional business coach 20 years now. I can't believe it. Every one of these gray hairs was earned helping people build their business. 20 years I've been helping people build their business based on creating relationships that create predictable business. I fell into the network marketing, gosh, I guess it's almost 7 years ago now. Just by accident, honestly, I was kind of felt stuck in my career. There was really nowhere left for me to grow. And what an incredible opportunity. I mean, Susan was just saying, like, what an opportunity to create a multi-million-dollar business with zero overhead, zero investment, just time and passion, right? And so I thought, this is the way to go. I'm excited. I want to kind of try something on the side. The challenge that I had was I just didn't have any time. I worked full time. And really what I wanted most was to be with these people. Here's a shot of my family. I wanted to be with these people, my family. I never saw them. I was always working. I'd get up in the morning to go to work. My kids would be in their pajamas, still in bed. I'd say goodbye, go to work. I'd come home in the evening. They'd be in pajamas, getting ready for bed again. Some of you guys can relate to this. And I wanted to create something else for my family. I just didn't know how I would do it. I mean, when would I fit this in? And so what I did was I started looking for tools to help me leverage my time. You know, like Susan, I knew what I needed to do. I help people do it all the time. I just also knew that it was time consuming. I mean, planning out who to connect with, who to follow up with, making all your lists, it was time consuming. And so I thought there just must be some software tools to help me do this, right? I mean, it was a no-brainer, but there wasn't. Obviously, that's why I'm here. And so, you know what I did, guys? I actually took a couple of really smart programming guys that I knew out to Panera Bread for coffee and lunch. And I showed them some sketches of this concept of TEAMZY. They said, yeah, we'll build it. Next thing I know, we've got TEAMZY. So just kind of give you a little background on this. It's been actually, I need to update this slide. It's been about 4.5 years now since we launched TEAMZY. And it's just taken off. We've had more than 120,000 network marketers use TEAMZY. We've supported professionals in more than 85 different markets. And it's just grown from people recommending it to each other. And also, I want to give you guys an idea of results. Thank you, Susan, for your testimonial. I think that probably goes farther than anything I have to say. But I want you guys to know that people who have been using TEAMZY consistently are averaging 21 new customers and 9 new recruits to their team over 90 days. Now picture that. I mean, that's kind of an average activity, but imagine times 4, there's your year. It's not bad movement for the business. So let's dive in now. There's my background. Let's dive into relationship marketing. What is it? And it's so funny because, you know, 5 years ago, relationship marketing was kind of a novel concept. Now everyone's using these words, they're kind of buzzwords. But I want you guys to understand, first and foremost, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. By working this way, honestly, we're going to change this industry and the way people perceive it. It's also not some abstract feel-good concept. This is a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. Okay, it's a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. How many of you just want to know what to do next every day? It is very reassuring, definitely. Relationship marketing also, finally, this is the most important piece. It is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. I know that definition's a mouthful, right? But it's important for you to understand this because you are not people who sell isogenics. You are business owners. And the first decision a business owner makes is, which lead generation system will I employ for my company? Okay, so it's a mindset shift, you guys. You're in the lead generation business. This is your business. The owner of a business generates leads for the business. Okay, so just shift your mindset. You're in the lead generation business. But here's the cool thing with relationship marketing is that developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So you're going to create interest systematically with people so that you can build relationships with them. Does this make sense? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. How to create interest systematically with people so you can build relationships with them. It's that simple. Okay. Why are relationships the key and not just a sale? Because relationships become advocates. We turn relationships into our advocates by providing outstanding service and investing time. And you guys, an advocate is worth so much more than one sale. An advocate is somebody who might, look, an advocate may not ever be interested in isogenics, but they will be so excited about what you're doing that they will tell friends and family that they need to meet you and talk to you. Make sense? Okay. Oh, I'm the host, so I'm in control of muting people, aren't I? Let me do it real quick. I'm sitting here going, when is she going to mute them? Okay. Let's get back to this. All right, good, perfect. Okay, so let's talk about this next piece. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this system ain't gonna work. And there's such a bad reputation sometimes with our industry. Have you guys come up against this with people? They just got a bad taste in their mouth. They've been burned before. They feel like there's a target on their back and people are just trying to get a sale or a commission from them. I want you to understand that the way we approach contacts and connecting with people through relationship marketing is based on trust, which means, you can't do anything disingenuous. We can't trick people. We can't do the old bait and switch like, hey, let's have coffee and then pull out the marketing plan, right? The way business has been done for a long time in our business. But we get to have more fun with it because trust makes the work fun. When somebody trusts you, even just a little bit, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to sell them. You don't have to trick them. You can get right to helping them, which is why we're all here. Also, trust takes away the ickiness. How many of you are paranoid to be seen as the icky salesperson? So when you build trust and you focus on building trust first, you never have to feel icky. Nobody ever perceives you as icky. I've had so many people tell me, you sold me on TEAMZY when you told me I didn't have to be icky. You don't ever have to be icky. And with relationship marketing, you get to go for yes. We never go for no. We don't thrive on rejection. In fact, I can't stand rejection. Let me see hands if you hate being rejected. Honest. Let's just be honest. I hate rejection. I've been teaching for 20 years how to not deal with rejection. And it's not because I got tough. I'm still a total wimp. It's about doing it the right way so you don't turn people off. We get to go for yes. We get to build relationships, get people excited, help them become our advocates. So how do you actually go about building trust? Before I jump in and show you the software, let me just give you the essential ingredients to building trust, okay? There are 4 of them. And whether or not you use TEAMZY, you guys can apply these principles in your business right now. Number 1 is chemistry. I'll go through them quickly, then I'll explain them out. Number 1 is chemistry. Number 2 is character. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence is number 3. And number 4 is consistency. Okay, consistency. chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right. So let's talk about chemistry. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, let me say that again for you. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Number one, just remember it like this, you guys. People want to do business with friends, and nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like. True? And so our first job when connecting with people is to find common ground. What do we have in common? Okay, so be engaging, ask questions, find out what they're interested in, what makes them tick, and you will always find common ground. We have things in common with everybody. I just feel like everybody lately, I mean, not just lately, maybe the last 5 years or so, have been so focused on how we're different. As business owners, your job is to figure out how we're the same, how we have things in common. And if you do that, you will have way more opportunities to help people. Does this make sense? Number two is character. Okay. And character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. I want you to notice something about this. And don't be offended by this, but it's true. Sometimes truth can be offensive at first. So please just receive it openly. But you don't actually have character. You don't have character. Character is something you do. Character is an action you have to take intentionally every single day. And we think of character as the way we've been in the past. Thank goodness we're not 100% judged for that, right? Character is how you're showing up today. And people want to do business with someone of character they feel good about. So this is how you show up. And you do it by demonstrating care for others. That's it. It's simple as that. But character is 24/7 because Isagenix isn't who they're transacting with. They're doing business with you. And it's your character that matters. Does this make sense? So it's how you take care of your people, how you serve them, your follow-up. It also comes down to, how you post on social media. Are you showing care for your audience? It's all about you. How do you drive your car? Are you a total maniac or are you respectful of others? Don't put an Isagenix sticker on your car and drive like a maniac. Right? Okay, so look, just a little side note. I know everybody on this call, I don't know, everyone's in a different place. Everybody's unique, which is cool. I happen to come from very strong faith myself. And so I always joke about, hey, if you're a person of faith, put a bumper sticker on your vehicle that proclaims your faith, and I guarantee you will be a better driver. Right? It will help you because you know that now you're representing more than just you. But seriously, I joke, but it's about your character 24/7, how you show up, how people perceive you as someone who cares for others. It's so important. And it's also important that you're relatable, which means sometimes we show people that we're human, right? Especially because we live our lives, social media is like leaving the curtains of your living room open all the time, right? And having people watch into your lives. So we need to show people that we're relatable, that we're normal people. This is especially true when you become incredibly successful, which is my hope and prayer for every single one of you, is that you got to tell the story of where you are today forever. You have to continue showing people how you struggled and how you overcame. Does this make sense? It's kind of laughable right now. I mean, we read everybody's posts and all these celebrities are talking about these incredible sacrifices they're having to make because of COVID-19 stuff going on. And it falls deaf, right? When you hear somebody say, like Robert De Niro the other day complained that he only made $7 million this year. It's like, that's not relatable. I don't know about you, but that would be a pretty good year. How many of you guys would take that? Yeah, so it's about being relatable too, right? So just keep that in mind, how much you care and relatable. And just think about it. The cool thing about it is when you are aware of how you're showing up from a character perspective, you will find that you are on your way to becoming the person you really want to be. Does that make sense? Number 3, competence. Competence. Remember, these are the 4 ingredients to building trust. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. It's not enough to be competent. You have to let people know you're competent. You have to show it. So the first piece is, are you competent with Isagenix products? Do you understand how they work? I mean, I've got problems. Can you help me solve them? Do I trust you to give me the right solution? You know, sales is so different these days. For the, you know, forever, the salesperson was in control of the information and they steered the conversation the way they wanted it to go to make the sale. Your prospects have, you know, they can Google anything they want to know about all your products. True? But it's not just you. There's every single competing product in the world. It's just an overwhelming amount of information. They need a trusted advisor who knows what they're talking about to help them make the decision. That's what people are looking for. Are you competent enough to help me with my problem? First step, if you want me to order from you, I need to know, are you competent at this business? The second piece is, before I join your team, do I believe you are a business person who can help me be successful in this business? How do I know this? Because you're demonstrating your competence. Now, just real quick on this. Anybody that's somewhat new on the call, let me see if I get any new people hands. Okay, great. Perfect. So when you're new, you're not going to have the confidence and in your competence that, say, Susan has, who's been doing this a while. And so it's really important that you do not pretend to be something you're not. If you guys ever heard that term, fake it till you make it. So in this case, do not fake it. Remember, relationship marketing is based on trust. Okay, it's based on trust. So what we do is we need to show people that you're learning. We need to show that you're building the new competence. If you join today, you need to tell people about, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I started an isogenics business today. I have aligned myself with one of the most successful teams. I'm being mentored by the most knowledgeable people. This is so incredible. So what you do is you start talking about the competence of your team until you build it yourself. Does that make sense? And then share your journey. I just learned how important being hydrated is. Did you guys know this? I just learned that, does it make sense? How important nutrition is, or what gut health means. And so you start sharing your journey to competence. This helps the people who've known you for years believe at some point that you can be their trusted advisor in this area. Make sense? Chemistry, character, competence. The first 3 ways to build trust. I want you guys to be intentional about these things and think about them and how you're showing up. Okay? There's a principle behind these that kind of underscores them. Then we'll jump to number 4. Here's the principle. People only care about 3 things. When they're going to do business with you, they only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Sometimes when you're brand new, people who are close to you, they'll place an order immediately, even though you're clueless, because they trust you. And they know you care about them, right? They're just like, okay, honey, I'll support you, right? In the beginning, that's kind of how we get going. That's the power of trust, right? But this is so important. And as you build relationships, guys, and do systematically what I'm going to teach you tonight, you will get more and more people who say yes, yes, yes to these questions. When people feel yes, yes, yes to these questions, you've got an advocate. You've got someone who, when they become aware of the specific problems you solve and they hear somebody talking about it, they say, oh my gosh, I need to introduce you to my friend Eric. This is what he does all day long, and he can help you. And when you start creating an army of advocates like this, you guys, it is incredible how quickly your business will grow. Number 4 is consistency. Yeah, you got to do some work. Sorry. This is great, Eric. I got great character. This is all good. I can build I have to do it consistently. Dang it. Yes, consistency is the most important thing for building trust, right? Don't just tell me once, I don't believe you. You got to show me consistently for me to believe you. Now, here's the cool thing is, as we become consistent, we build trust, right? Consistency has a little extra bonus too, which is this. People respect consistency and they desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and they desire it for themselves. So being consistent not only builds trust with people, but they want to be around it. It draws them to you. And if you've been doing this for a while, you may have been told by people that they find you inspiring. You're so inspiring to me. Wow. Cindy, Susan, you have Cindy in your name, so I'll call you Cindy. Cindy, when you watch this on replay, but Susan, I know you get this. I know people tell you you're inspiring, and you are inspiring. You are inspiring. I'm looking over here because that's where you are on my screen. You are inspiring, but what is it about her that's so inspiring? I guarantee you a huge piece of it is her consistency. It is that she's chosen a life and she has consistently pursued it. People want to be around. This attracts people to your team, you guys. It builds trust, attracts people to your team. How many people, how many of you are, let's just be honest, are now more in love with your team and the Isogens community than even the products themselves? Yeah. And that is the key to this business growing, because the turnover rate of associates in this business is so high that you have to have a team where people respect and want to be part of. Make sense? This is huge, 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 huge. Okay, so let's just talk about consistency really quick. I want to look at your faces while I do this. How many of you are consistent products of your product? You love your products and you take them and you use them and it's part of your lifestyle and you do it. People know you're, okay, good. It should be everybody, right? I actually had a guy message me once and said, my business has really been declining the last 6 months that I haven't been using the products. What do you, well, did you just answer your own question? Can I move on with my day now? We got to be products of our product. How many of you are consistent about sharing your journey, what you're learning? You're on social media. People know what you're doing and they see it consistently. Let me see your hands. People are out there sharing it consistently. That's okay. Not everybody raises their hand for that. Some of you are probably still a little afraid, right? Because people don't like this industry, but we're changing that. We're changing that right now. We're flipping it on its head. We're going to show people how much we care. Here's the real important question though. The checkup from the neck up, as Zig Ziglar used to say. How are you consistently reaching out to the people you're connected with? Are you consistently connecting with your relationships? Are you consistently staying in touch with people? Because this business is built person to person. Social media hasn't changed that. It's amplified it. It's made it easier, but it's amplified it. Okay, so let me just give you guys a quick example of this. How many of you have ever received an amazing card from somebody that you love, somebody that you care about? And it had like a handwritten message, right? And when you read that message, it just, oh my gosh, it just touched you in the heart, like touched you. What is the term? Probably played the heartstrings. I don't know, whatever. You felt emotional when you read it, verklempt even. Okay, you guys, has everyone ever received something like this? Good. I hope so. If not, please just put your address in the chat. We'll write you one right now, because if you haven't understood that, we want you to experience it. So how many of you have kept that card? You've saved it. You've saved it. Pretty much everybody. Okay, let me see hands if you've got a collection of these things that you've saved over the years you cannot part with. Look at this, see? It's true for Aussies as it is people in the US, North America. We're all the same, I guess. Isn't it amazing how we keep those, how valuable they are to us? Now, there's a principle that I want to teach you guys about this. Okay, and the principle is this. The only way to deepen a relationship is by investing time and connecting with someone. Let me put it on the screen so you can take a note on it. The only way to deepen a relationship, where is it? Here we go. I already did all this. The only way, investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen a relationship. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen a relationship. Okay, so we just talked about the card. You know, we all got the card and we loved it. We saved them, right? Sometimes we even keep them when somebody passes away. We keep the letters that they had kept. Like it goes beyond our lives, even the value. Now, look, here's another example. Can you guys all see this? This is a happy birthday postcard that I received from my life insurance sales representative. Right? Do you guys all have life insurance? So I'm not here to sell life insurance, but you're business owners now. You got to think about all this stuff. Okay. So my life insurance salesperson sent me this happy birthday postcard. You guys ever receive something like this from a business that you do business with, or anybody? Yeah, a few of you. Okay, how many of you save these in a special place with all those other cards from your loved one? No, Gina's like, no way. No way. People in Philadelphia don't mess around. They just tell you what's straight up. We throw these in the trash, don't we? Pretty much instantly. How many of you guys have a trash can like by where you park your car, where you throw the mail before it comes into the house, or a shredder or something? I do that. I have a shredder in the garage and a recycling bin where most of the mail goes before, because I'm in California. We drive into our house and then close the door and then come out of our car. I don't know. It's just the way it's always been. So these go in the trash. And here's why, guys. This violates the principle. It doesn't do the two things. This is impersonal. This is not a personal connection. This is a bulk mailing. It's impersonal. And it required zero investment of time. So what does that mean? It means it has no value. The only thing we have of value to give is our time. This required no investment of time. It's impersonal. It's trash. If somebody spends a minute and a half to write you a message just to you, you save it forever. Do you guys see how huge this is? And in this business, I mean, I know a lot of them. People are trying to sell every kind of system in the world to you guys. This is how you build your business. You don't have to do a thing. It's all automated for you. You just hit a button and it goes. You just plug in your list. It's amazing. People are just going to fall over onto their backs, put all four limbs in the air and say, rub my belly and sell me Isagenix. It's just going to work amazingly, right? The problem is with all the marketing automation, as sexy as it sounds, is that it's impersonal and it requires no investment of time and people don't value it. So how do we do it? How do we connect personally with people? Let them know we care about them and do it in a way that's systemized and efficient. We get it done in less than an hour a day. Does this make sense? This is what I'm going to show you. This is what TEAMZY does for you. You have to do the work. You have to be consistent. You have to show up and demonstrate your care and your character on a daily basis. We just make it incredibly easy for you to get it done in a few seconds. Does this make sense? Yes, some of you guys, I know some of you guys use it. So you're like, yeah, Eric, just get to the good stuff. All right, so let's see. I got one more slide, then we'll jump in. All right, so you got that principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Keep that as a filter as you build your business. How can I show these people I care? By investing a little time. You know what's funny is I recently had a friend of mine who's a top leader in another network. It was his birthday, came up on Facebook, so-and-so's birthday. So I opened up Messenger, sent him a message that said, hey, I hope you have an amazing birthday. He said, you know what's funny is I got 382 people posted on my wall for my birthday, and you're the only person who sent me a personal message. This is our world. You can really stand out from the competition, you guys, by connecting with people personally. But here's the thing. It's, philosophy is not enough. You need a system. You need a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships, right? You got 3,000 contacts. Great. You need to stay in touch with all of them. You never know who's going to turn into a major leg in your business. You need to know when to contact people and when not to contact people. In other words, I don't want you spending all day planning your power hour. I want you to be able to turn on TEAMZY and know who to contact. Right? This is what Susan was talking about that she likes, not having to think. She can just get in there and do it. Know what you're going to say so you can start a conversation without turning people off. That's a big deal, right? How can you actually start the conversation without them going, oh no, thanks, I don't want that, and running for the hills? And then make sure that people aren't falling through the cracks. We do all this work and then we lose the leads because we don't have a system that is watertight, right? All right. Let me show you TEAMZY. I like that watertight analogy because honestly, I think that doing your business without TEAMZY is like drinking water with your hands. You're spilling more than you're drinking. Okay. First off, I want you guys to know something. You can go use TEAMZY for free for 30 days at TEAMZY.com. Okay, TEAMZY.com. You can use TEAMZY for free for 30 days. We will not ask for your credit card number or anything in advance. Just go use it, fall in love, great. And then after that, you can continue to subscribe. So if you haven't already done that, make sure that tonight you start your free trial and start messing around with it. When you go into TEAMZY and start your free trial to ask what business you're in, there's a drop down. Make sure you choose Isagenix because we have a special custom-made version just for you guys. Okay. All right. So once you've logged in the first time, this is the setup wizard. We're looking at it now. You guys see my screen? All good. Okay. So you're going to come into the setup wizard. This is designed to help you set TEAMZY up super easy. I don't know how many of you have ever used a CRM program at work. They're not fun for most people. Some people love them. Most people don't like them. Most of the people who would be really good at meeting people and connecting and doing this business don't like using the CRM. I want you to know I'm one of those people. So we built TEAMZY to be easy. So this kind of walks you through. There's a little welcome video for me. We'll skip that. The first big step here is to set an income goal. What's your income goal going to be? How much money would you like to be earning from your business a year from now? Okay, so my goal was 150,000. Okay, so at 150,000, TEAMZY now tells me exactly what I need to do each day for the next year to hit my goal. And in my case, it's connect with 9 prospects, 6 of my customers, and 4 associates on my team. Okay. And I will show you guys that that is easy, less than 30 minutes of work a day in TEAMZY. Now, you can make your goal bigger. You can make your goal smaller. Okay. Whatever your goal is, it changes your daily target so you know exactly what to do. Okay. Now, just a quick note for those of you leaders on the team who already have significant income, you're going to set your goal for the difference you want to see. Okay. So you're going to set your goal for the difference you want to see. So you might not want to set this to 500,000. If your goal is 500,000, but you're at 400 now, then you want to set your goal to 100,000. Make sense? Now, one of the things I love about relationship marketing is the more successful you get, the less work you have to do in this system. Hallelujah, because you'll be busy with other stuff. Okay. Once you have that set, go to continue. We go to the next page. This is where we get all our contacts into TEAMZY. You're going to get everybody imported into here. You're going to get your team imported, your customers, present and past in TEAMZY. You're going to get your Facebook friends, your Instagram followers, like every contact list you have, you want them in TEAMZY. Why? Because I don't want you digging through your phone, trying to find stuff, looking through the sticky notes on the wall in your office, or trying to find a pad of paper you wrote something down on. Sierra's laughing. I nailed her right between the eyes with that one. Look, it wasn't for you. Everyone's like that. Okay, TEAMZY's cloud-based. That means that you always have it. It's in your phone. It's in your computer. It's in your mom's phone. Like when you need TEAMZY, it's there. How many of you are within arm's reach of at least 3 devices that are internet enabled right now? This is our world we live in. So when you're at the store, you don't need to get a napkin and write somebody's contact info. You pull out your smartphone, you open TEAMZY, you put them right in there. By the way, you come across incredibly professional. Let me put you in my tracking system now so that I remember to follow up tomorrow. Okay. All right. So the other thing that's going to happen with that, beyond being in one place organized, and I'm going to show you this in a second, TEAMZY has an algorithm that keeps people cycling in front of you, so that nobody falls through the cracks. So it's like you put it in there and then it becomes smart. It's pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna launch TEAMZY. Once you get all those in there, this is what the dashboard looks like. Okay, TEAMZY dashboard. Now I'm showing it to you on my computer. I've got a Mac here, but you can also get here on your phone, okay? And at the end in Q&A, if you guys wanna see that, I'll plug in my phone and we'll show you what it looks like on an iPhone. Okay, so here's the dashboard. I'll give you a quick tour, and then we're gonna jump in and do a power hour together. Don't worry, it won't take an hour. I've already used up most of my time. I'll get through and do a quick demo of it, and then we'll do some questions. Okay, so I just want to show you a couple things. First off, see this little section that says today's activities right here? These are your daily goals based on your income goal. So my goal is to connect with 9 prospects, 6 of my customers, 4 of my associates today. Okay, so that is, 19 people. I also have a goal to share 3 times. And when I say share, it's really simple. That means I shared a product solution with somebody, or I shared a business opportunity with somebody. Pretty easy, right? Simple. 3 times a day, I want to try to do that. Now, in the very beginning, look, if you're brand new and you start using TEAMZY today, you probably won't get 3 shares until next week sometime, because those conversations have to be started and get going, right? Does this make sense? But after you've been doing this for a couple of weeks, then the 3 shares start happening really organically. Make sense? Because you've got a bunch of conversations going. Now they're moving in that direction. And then I've also got a goal to add new people to TEAMZY on a daily basis. This is just a goal so that you're always bringing fresh energy into your business. It's like a garden. You're planting seeds and you're pulling weeds, constantly refreshing the list. Okay, guys? So those are my daily activities. And by the way, for those of you who think that you have to work 7 days a week, TEAMZY is based on a 5-day-a-week work week. Okay? So I need to do this 5 times a week for the next year and I'll hit my goal. How cool is that? You'll probably, if you actually do that consistently, you'll probably exceed that goal. Just letting you guys know. I do all my algorithms very conservatively so that everybody gets the results when they do the work. Okay. So those are kind of the daily goals. Now, the next thing I want to show you is this Power Hour module. Okay. So we're going to go through this in a second. This area here is designed to help you absolutely crush your power hour without having to do any planning or thinking. Okay. There is no CRM in the world that does this unless they've copied me in the last couple months and I'm not aware of them yet, which they do crop up, just so you guys know. But they usually go out of business pretty quickly because you can recreate the body, but sometimes you cannot recreate the heart. That's what I think anyways. Okay. So this is something different. See, what a CRM does, which is a type of software, if you don't know what that means, it stands for Contact Relationship Management, kind of dry. That means that it keeps track of all your contacts and information, all the conversations you have with them and tracked there, right? follow-ups are tracked there. So let me just show you. When I go over to the team page here, you can see TEAMZY is a traditional CRM. Here's all my contacts. Okay, if I click on one, on the right-hand side, I have all their contact information, the name of their pets, everything, all my conversation history with them, everything's in here, okay? But what TEAMZY does that's a little different is we have a simple rating scale. So we rate all of our relationships on this 5-star scale. You guys familiar with this? You rate everything on 5 stars, right? We rate our relationships on a 5-star scale. And then what TEAMZY does is it takes those ratings and it creates automatically for us every day our contact list. So you don't have to think. Pretty cool. So 5-star people will come up first. They're your best relationships, your closest people. 5-star people will show up first. And they come back every 30 days automatically. I don't have to remember to connect with them again. I don't have to set a follow-up in TEAMZY. Just every 30 days, my 5-star relationships come back into this power hour. Okay? 4-star people, they show up every 60 days. 3-star people show up every 90 days. 2-star people show up every 120 days. This allows me to stay in touch, regular touch, with thousands of people. It allows me to seem like the most organized person in the world, right? People are like, you're so on top of it. Not really. I just have a system. Does this make sense? So this is so important. All right, so it just cycles them through like that. Now, you will see after you get in here, it's really important when you guys set up your TEAMZY that you want to go down your list. Everyone's going to come in as 3 stars to start as default. And most of your list will stay at 3 stars. That's every 90 days. Most people will be 3-star. That's okay. But you want to kind of go down your list and just look for your favorite people and make them 5s and 4s so that when you start using TEAMZY, you start connecting first with the people who trust you the most. Does this make sense? Because they're the people most likely to become advocates sooner and join your team and buy products. Okay, so now we've kind of explained that. I'm going to do this power hour. So just picture this. You come in, boom, wake up. You can be, by the way, I can't even tell you guys how much of my business I built in a bathrobe wearing UGG slippers. You just come, you wake up, you turn on TEAMZY. Here's who you're going to connect with. Okay, let me just show you how this works. Susan's the first person on my list. She's up next. Now, always work from left to right in a power hour. Just write that down and do it. Always work from left to right. So we're always going to start with prospects. It seems obvious when you're new, but when you've got 100 follow-ups, you really want to start there. But you always want to start with prospects because if you're not creating new conversations, you will find that the conversations you have going, even if you're overwhelmed with this week, will suddenly be gone. And you have to start building momentum from scratch again. So we always want to be connecting with prospects. Okay, so we go prospects. I've got 4 lists here: prospects, customers, associates. These are people on my team, maybe sideline people that I love, that I want to stay in touch with, or upline people that motivate me, and my follow-ups. Okay, 4 lists. On the right-hand side, I log that conversation as it's happening so that it's tracked. Now, the ideal situation, you guys, is to let TEAMZY tell you who's up next. Log it as you go so you don't have to go back later and log stuff that you've done. Okay? So what we do, I don't want you to do, I don't want this to be a homework assignment where later in the day you have to go back and track a bunch of stuff in TEAMZY. If you do have a conversation that's unplanned, it's not in your power hour, the best thing to do is, because I know your phone's already in your hand, is to open it right there on your phone and log it so you don't have to go back and do it later. Okay, guys? All right. Cindy told me to make sure to address that one. She said that was a complaint. So I just want you guys to know that's the best thing to do. So here's what we're going to do though. Let me show you how to do this. Susan is the first person on my power hour today. I'm going to send her a message. Now, when you message people, I'm just going to give you guys this little tip. What works best is not to try to sell. It's not to try to send them some beautiful video corporate made and ask their opinion. I mean, yeah, I know that's been taught for the past 30 years, but I'm an 80s kid. We used to say, gag me with a spoon, right? Nobody wants that. The best way to start a conversation is to focus on making somebody's day. Just focus on making their day. Get into the make someone's day mindset. So I'm going to connect with 9 prospects. Basically, a prospect is everybody I know who's not already on my team or already a customer. They're a prospect. Make sense? So I'm going to start connecting with people, and my goal is just to make their day. And by doing that, not only is it going to feel amazing for them and for me, and it makes this job, this business fun and joy-filled, but it gives us an opportunity to have a conversation. I actually create opportunities instead of closing them off. Make sense? So look, Susan's the first person up. I'm going to go message her. She and I are Facebook buddies. I think we're Facebook buddies, aren't we? Yeah, we'll find out in a second. I know I see her videos all the time. So I'm going to go send her a message, but this is where I used to get stuck. Oh my gosh, what will I say? How do I say this? How do I do it? And so, after a couple of years of people asking me that, I put all my scripts in TEAMZY for you. They're in there for you to use. Okay, and these work great. So look, we're going to go to scripts. See right here where it says scripts? Click on scripts. And these are not cheesy scripts, by the way. I'm anti-cheese. I like to eat cheese. I just don't want to come across as it. So number one is connect. Connect number one. I'm just going to use the first one on the list. It reads like this. It says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. Okay. How many of you received this from an upline person using TEAMZY? Probably. All right. So look, just click on copy script. Okay. That copies it to the clipboard. Now that it's copied, I could go straight to Facebook and message her that message. I actually add an extra step to make sure I don't mess this up. I put it in TEAMZY first. That way I can get the name right, because I have sent the wrong name about 100 times. So get the name right. It happens. It's not the worst thing that happens when you get somebody's name wrong, because you can laugh about it. They almost always respond, right? So you've got a good conversation going. You just got to eat a little humble pie and keep going. So I'm going to just add a couple of emojis. I like to have some emojis. How many of you guys are emoji addicted? I think emojis kind of personalize them a little bit. So look, now I've got it set up. I've got the right name. I've got the emojis. It's ready to go. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to copy this and go send it in Facebook. Okay, so TEAMZY can't send Facebook messages. No third-party app can do that. Facebook doesn't allow it. But it's so easy to just do this. You just copy it. I got Facebook open in another tab. All you have to do is be able to spell a couple of letters. There she is. And we're going to send her this message. Paste it in there. Ready to go. Send. So the message is sent. Okay, so I toggle back to TEAMZY. Now what I do is log it. I'm going to log it. That was a Facebook message, and the big blue log connect button, done. It's logged. Now notice she's gone off my list. She's a 5-star, so she'll come back in 30 days. I've got one done. Look up here. I've got one done. This little blue thing is starting to fill in. The next person on my list is Jay. Okay, so I'm going to message Jay. We'll just use the same message. I'll just paste it in again, because now all I have to do is change the name. I'll keep the emojis. So it gets faster and faster. There's no reason you can't repeat these scripts, because they're just saying hello. They're just making somebody's day. Okay. So look her up. Now, if you really want to, you can actually save people's Facebook links on their TEAMZY profile, and then you just click it to open Facebook to their page. I'm too lazy to do that, so I just search it. All right, so look, we've sent her that message. Look, we've got 2 done. Do you guys see how easy this is? So that was a Facebook message, log connect. 2 done, 7 left. Should we send one to Cindy too? We'll do one more. She's going to be like, why aren't you on the team call right now? You're supposed to be training my team when she gets this message. All right, but we'll send it to her anyways. I confirmed with you this morning. So we'll send her this message. Boom. You get the idea. Okay, I'm not going to do all 9 of them. But do you guys see how quick you can get at this after you've been doing this a little while? And so what happens is, now I've now sent 3. I've got 6 left, and I'm going to keep going on prospects until that blue circle is all the way filled in. It's my visual cue. You're done with prospecting. Go to the next list. Okay. So now I'm going to go over to my customers, and I'm going to start messaging customers with the same goal to make their day. Okay. Now look, I don't want to step on any toes with leadership, but I'm here to tell you that the complicated follow-up programs for customers, nobody does them. They mean to, they have good intentions to. And yeah, if you did it, it would be awesome, but we don't. We forget, we miss one. You know what I'm talking about. It's like 14 days after this, and then 7 days, and then before the shipping we want to connect with. So I'm just going to simplify your life. Put all your customers in TEAMZY, and when they come up on TEAMZY, message them. If you do that, you'll be in regular contact with your customers. Simple. And when you're in regular contact with your customer, and they're not going to be like, well, why didn't you message me on the 14th? They're going to be like, oh, great to hear from you. Right? Time goes fast for people. But what happens when you are in regular contact with customers is magic in your business. Okay, so let me just talk to you about it really quick. This is the magic of business, staying in touch with your customers. First off, you will provide, how many of you guys, it's important to provide excellent service, and that's part of who you are and the integrity with which, yeah. So first off, you'll actually get to do that. which is good. You can align your actions with your intentions. That's a big deal. Number two, did you know that statistically, if you are in touch with your customers on a regular basis, they order more product and they retain longer? It's a statistical fact. They order more product and they retain longer. How many of you would like to see that with your people? Not just your people, but your whole downline. They order more. In fact, this is going to be really good for you guys as a team. I'd be curious to know. Susan, make sure that you and Cindy check the volume 30 days from now on the team volume to see how much it goes up, just because we've introduced a bunch of people to TEAMZY. They're going to be in touch with customers. We're going to see retention go up and orders go up. It's pretty cool. The third thing that happens when you're in regular contact with customers, and this is where the magic happens in the business, this is how you create a business that keeps growing year after year and you never get burnt out doing it, right? Is that you get to meet new customers. How many of you guys would like some new customers? I mean, you always want new customers, right? Well, this is a business. Okay, can you think of a customer, just one or two that you just love? Like, oh, if I could clone these people, I would have a business. You guys think of people like that? Some of you are nodding like you're thinking of somebody. So where do you go find those people? The last I heard, Isagenix Corporate does not have a page where they hand those people out. I mean, they give you leads, but I'm talking about the people you love, right? You have, the way to get those new customers like that are from the ones you have. This is an ageless business principle, right? The best place to get a new customer is from a current customer. There's no better source. But how do you get introduced to those people? You can't be introduced to them if you're not in regular contact. It's just not going to happen. But I want you guys to think about this. The customer that you thought of when you raised your hands, they, I guarantee you, are talking to their friends and family about Isagenix. Absolutely. Have you guys ever met a human being that doesn't talk about something that they're in love with, that's doing great for them? They are talking about it, sharing it with their friends and family. Now, did you know that 86% of people say they make a purchasing decision based on the recommendation of a friend? Sounds right, doesn't it? You guys do the same thing, right? Your customers are telling their friends about Isagenix. They are very likely to make the purchase, not based on Isagenix marketing, not based on what you're doing on social media, but based on the fact that their friend is telling them it's a good deal. The question is, are you getting introduced to those friends? And if you're not in regular contact, you won't be getting introduced. Does this make sense? But when you're in regular contact, when you're checking in with customers, then it's easy to say something like, you know, Susan, I know you've been getting amazing results. I'm so proud of you, by the way. You've been getting such great results. You look amazing. I'm sure that your friends and family have noticed, and you've probably told them about Isagenix. And so I just wanted to check in with you before I get too busy this week and see if there's anyone you care about that needs more info on this. Can you think of anybody who's interested or that needs more info? And she's going to go, yeah, actually, I was talking to my friend yesterday. Perfect. Would you mind introducing me to her so I could get her the information? Because I want to make sure I take care of your friends and family first, because honestly, you're my favorite. I just want more people like you. It's all about trust, guys. Just tell them what you're thinking. Does this make sense? And if you're in regular contact, that's a natural conversation. If you haven't talked to your customer in 6 months and you're like, well, I saw that she bought a new Tesla, so she probably has some good referrals. I'm just going to message her and say, could you introduce me to your friends? Like talking about Isagenix? No, she's going to be like, who are you? Well, you haven't talked to me in months. Does this make sense? So real quick, guys, here's how you do it in TEAMZY. It's so easy. You connect with your customers the same way. Again, just use my scripts. They're there for you. I love some of these scripts. Look, here's a great one. Congratulations on great results. Jane, you're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on losing 10 pounds. How cool would that be to send to somebody? Did you have to say anything about the products? No, it's implied. You're using this program. You got great results. I love this one. Here's a real basic one. Hi, John. How are you enjoying the products? And you just take out the products and you put in the program they're on. Okay. Please send me an update and let me know how I can be of help. Okay. This is great, by the way. I love this. This is a little passive aggressive script for people who just canceled their auto ship. Send me an update. How are you enjoying it? Send me an update. Let me be, well, actually, Eric, to be honest, I just canceled my thing. I've got a bunch of product, backed up in the cabinet. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I reached out at this time. Well, how can I support you in getting back on track? Maybe you can join my fitness challenge I'm doing this month. We can get you back on. We get you using it again. Oh, that'd be great, right? Is that cool? Don't take a cancellation as rejection. That's normal. And that's why I always say that a customer is a customer for life. You put keep canceled and past customers in your TEAMZY and keep building relationships with them. Here's my favorite one for a customer. Just a simple script. It reads like this. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Let's just send that to your customers. I'm telling you what, that script, when you send that to your favorite customers, you're going to get the most incredible responses. So we're going to go down our list. We're going to connect with our customers. Oh, I didn't actually do one. Let me just do one. We're going to connect with our customers. Okay. We're going to send them their messages, paste it in there, go send it to her on Facebook, log it. Okay. Boom. And then you're going to work your way as this pink circle fills. You'll be done with customers for the day, connecting with them. And then you're going to jump over to associates on your team and you're going to connect to team members. Again, just checking in, connecting. Now, look, if you've got 2 people on your team, this part will be very easy. But as you build your team big, it becomes harder to manage staying in touch with everybody personally. But do you guys remember this analogy? Can you see in the little corner? The postcard. You need to stay in personal touch with your team members over time. That's why we built TEAMZY. It will help you keep that connection to them. And besides all the stuff I'm teaching you to create new customers and associates for your team, you want to keep the ones you have, and that's by building relationships with them. So the first half of our power hour is connecting with prospects, customers, and associates, just outgoing messages. Okay, you guys see how I could do that in 15, 20 minutes, totally, getting all those sent out. Now, just stay focused on the outgoing messages. Don't get caught up if people start responding. Don't jump into the conversation right now. You need to stay focused to get your power hour done, okay? You can respond and have the conversations later. The second half of our power hour is our follow-ups list. This is where we follow up with people professionally after we've done a share with them. Now, look, I've got nobody on this list because in Teams, you have to put them there. Now, I don't need to schedule a follow-up just because I want to talk to you again, because you automatically cycle in TEAMZY. I'm going to schedule a follow-up when you're interested in isogenics. So how does this work? Let's just do an example. I message Susan just to make someone's day message. She responds, oh, great to hear from you. We're doing great. Thanks for checking in, Eric. Right? So now it's like, okay, great. She responded. People actually message me all the time. They responded. What do I do? Have a conversation. Just pretend you're in person. You just bumped into her in Costco. Okay? How was their 4th of July? What did you guys do? Oh, she's going to tell me. And so as people are talking to you, just be really interested, ask questions, find out as much as you can about what's going on in their life. I call it getting their update. Just find out what their update of their life is. How's it going? How's the kids? What are you guys up to? How's the book sales going? What did you guys do for the weekend? And just have a nice conversation and listen. And there's going to come up, hopefully you will uncover ways that you can help this person. Maybe not with isogenics. Maybe just they need help with something, a recommendation, something. I mean, I was talking to my neighbor the other day. We're finally starting to come out from behind our bunkers, I'm in California. It's like they just locked us down again today in California. It's crazy. I mean, California is just bizarre. But the neighbors are starting to come out and talk to each other because they're like, do you know anybody sick? No, me neither. Okay, well, we can be friends again. And turns out my neighbor, I was talking to her, she, we live kind of in the, it's called a wildfire area outside San Diego County is where I live. So we're just outside of town, like in the hills where the fires come. So anyways, long story short, everyone in the neighborhood had to trim all their trees or else we were going to be in big trouble. So all my neighbors needed somebody who could trim trees inexpensively. Does it have anything to do with my business? No, but by listening, I was like, oh, I know somebody great who's really inexpensive. Everyone was excited. So maybe that's all you uncover in this first conversation is a way to help them in some way. But that guy builds trust and builds the relationship, and that is all good. Make sense? But as I'm talking to her and she's telling me what's going on in her life, when she's done, what would I naturally do? Well, I would tell her what's going on in my life, wouldn't I? Right? Wouldn't that be the natural thing to do? And most of the time, people will ask you, well, what about you, Eric? What have you been up to? Right? Now that you ask, let me send you all the isogenics videos I have. No, just kidding. I'm going to tell them what's going on with me, with my wife, with my kids, and then I'm going to also mention my business. Of course I am. It's what I'm passionate about, right? So I'm going to say, I don't know if you know that I started my own business, but this is what I'm doing now. And this is why I'm so passionate about it. Okay. So just write that down. When you want to share your business, you share what you do and why you're passionate about it. And please, for the love of everything that's holy, don't give them some vague thing about empowering people to rediscover their health and tell them what you do, that you partnered with Isagenix to do it. Okay. If you love helping people lose weight, say I help people lose weight and get healthy, and I partner with Isagenix because they are the best company in the world for this. They helped me, and now I'm helping others. Be specific. This is the relationship marketing trust-based system now. You don't have to hide all of that stuff. You get right to, oh, wow. You know what's going to happen when you do it this way? People go, wow, that's so cool. Good for you. I think I've heard of them. That's really cool. I'm glad that you're doing that. Because it's been all about them. This whole conversation's been all about them. They don't feel like there's a target on their back, right? You're sharing your passion with them. They're going to be happy for you. Now, here's the cool thing. All you have to do is look for some enthusiasm. If they've got some enthusiasm in what you're saying, you just ask them, yeah, and let me know if you'd like to learn more about it. I'd be happy to get you some more info. That's it. Would you like to learn a little bit more? Let me know. Okay. Now, Susan, being shrewd and intelligent and hearing me talk about this is like, man, this sounds like a great opportunity. I would like to learn more. Great. So now what I'm going to do in this conversation, if she's like, yeah, I'd like to learn more about that. Great. Now my goal is to get her on a call or get her on a Zoom or a FaceTime so that I can talk to her like for real about this. Does this make sense? So great. Can you jump on a quick FaceTime or Zoom with me? You know, I might have said, let's get coffee, 6 months ago, but now I'm going to say, maybe we can jump on a quick Zoom. And just for a few minutes, I just want to maybe hear what your goals are and see if it's something I can help you with. She's like, okay, great, let's do that. So we jump on. So how do I do this in TEAMZY, guys? This is now where I'm going to set up my share. Okay. So I'm going to go into TEAMZY and I'm just going to do this real quick, guys. I know I'm over time. And then you guys, if you want to stay, you can ask me some questions. I also have a really cool special offer that I want to share with you guys tonight, which I think you'll be excited about. So the first thing I'm going to do is she's no longer on my dashboard. So I'm going to look her up in this little lookup bar that lets me look people up really quick and easy. Okay. And now I'm on her record in TEAMZY. I can open that connect box. Looks just like the dashboard. And do you see the bottom left where it says share? Right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log now our Zoom. I'm going to log it as a video chat. I'm going to put all my notes from our Zoom in here. Okay, you guys get the idea. And then click on share. Now on the Zoom, maybe I shared a product solution for a problem she's having. So I'm going to click product share in that case. Great. Now, as soon as I log it as a share, you can see right here, this little calendar icon turned yellow. That means that it activated a follow-up for her. So it defaults to 2 days, so I can't mess this up. But you know what? I would usually follow up the next day. So I'm going to change that to tomorrow. You can edit it to any day you want. And so now when I log this conversation that I had with her, it logged it as a share and it set a follow-up for her. So look, if I go to my dashboard, you can see there's a share logged. And if I go to my follow-ups list, there's Susan due tomorrow. Do you guys see how easy this is? So you start conversations, have great conversations, keep track of those. And then when you have an opportunity to share with somebody, you log it as a share, you put them on that follow-ups list. So we've had this great Zoom. She's really interested. And so on the Zoom, you guys, I'm going to say, okay, this has been a great conversation. I'll send you an email right now with the links that you need to order the program we discussed. Okay. And I'll follow up tomorrow and see if you have any questions. She says, perfect. Sounds good. Now what happens? This is so great. I send her that email and what happens? Nothing happens typically. Does she buy the product? Has this happened, you guys? 20% of people will buy that product and the other 80% don't. And it's like, dang it. She said she was going to. So that's why I'm setting a follow-up for tomorrow. I'm going to assume she's a normal person and then she is not going to get to it tonight. Right? So tomorrow when I do my power hour, I do my prospects, I do my customers, I do my team, and then I look to see if I have any follow-ups due. When I see Susan's due, I'm going to send her a follow-up message. Okay. Now let me show you how to do it. It's super easy. And then I'm just real quick about follow-ups and then we'll do Q&A. So when I come in here, again, I go to my scripts and I'm going to get a script that's labeled as a follow-up because I put my 10 best follow-up scripts in TEAMZY for you numbered. Tira's smiling. She's like, I can't believe how easy this is. Okay, here it is. It's wheeled like this. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? So simple. By the way, you guys, it took me years to get this script down to these 2 little phrases and to be so effective. I'm just telling you right now. I mean, working with thousands of business owners, refining and refining and refining, getting these down. Now you guys just get to use them. So here's the script. Change it to the correct name. Just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Isn't that amazing? Did you know following up is fulfilling a promise for somebody? I want you to think of it that way. I told her I was going to follow up. Now I'm doing it. Every time I do something I say I'm going to do, it builds trust. So look, I'm going to look her up. There she is. We're going to send her this follow-up message. It's just like sending a connect message. So easy to do. Okay. And I'm using Facebook Messenger because I like to message people there because the response rate is higher than anything else in the world. You know, it's the #1 communication platform ever in the history of the world. Crazy, huh? But you know, you can send text messages, you can Instagram people, whatever you want to do. You just log it in TEAMZY as whatever it was. And when you log when you log a follow-up, you just set a new follow-up. So now I'm going to set one for maybe 2 days. Why? Because I'm going to assume she probably won't respond to this follow-up because most people don't respond to the first 6 or 7 follow-ups. So I'm going to leave myself a note. Next time I'll send follow-up number 2 and log it. So now she's on my follow-ups list for next Wednesday. So look, here's what I want to tell you about this before I take questions from you guys. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. I can't hear you guys, but I'm pretty sure I saw some cuss words go out just then. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. I know it's not what you want to hear because you want to follow up 2 or 3 times and be done with it, but I want you to know that most people, you have to follow up more. The problem is most people in our seats don't do the following up because we're afraid to be annoying or come across as cheesy. True? So there is a way to do it so that they thank you and they love it and they think you're amazing and organized and responsible and they'll be happy to be your advocates when you do it. And that's just following the TEAMZY system of staying in touch, sending those messages. Use the pre-recorded message I put in there because they follow the 2 principles that you need to follow up without being annoying, okay? So here's the last pieces of notes for the night. Number 1, if you don't want to be annoying when sending a follow-up message, never ask them to do anything, even though you want to so bad. Don't tell them to call you. Don't tell them to respond. You have an event coming up on Saturday, don't ask for their RSVP in this follow-up. If you're irritated, they abandon the shopping cart, don't ask them to complete their order. Don't ask anything of them. Okay, that's the first principle. Don't ask anything of them. The second principle is this. You need to keep your message short enough they can read the entire message without opening it. Okay, keep the message short enough they can read the entire message without opening it. So they're just going to see it as a notification on their phone and they're going to get it. Why is this so important? Because your message always comes at the wrong time. Have you guys noticed that about other people's messages? So like you're driving your car, your dog's throwing up on the baby, you've got your hands in raw chicken trying to make dinner. Like this is when messages come in. And nobody is going to want to open that message because they know they can't respond right now and they don't want to look like a jerk when you get the read receipt. So what happens is they don't open it. They mean to respond, they forget about it. This is why you get no opens and no responses on messages. But if you follow the 2 principles I told you, they will always see them because we are like addicts. Like we have to see what's coming through on our phone, no matter what. I mean, you know, like in this situation with the chicken all over your hands, you're still like leaning forward, trying to activate your phone with your face so you can see what it says, right? We all do this. They will see your messages. They will always see your messages. This will keep you top of mind so that they don't forget. It also will make it's a positive thing. Like every time they get your message, they feel good. Like it releases the dopamine in their minds of how excited they were about Isogenics when they talk to you. They remember hope. Remember, we sell hope with a plan, right? That's what you guys sell. That's what I sell. Hope with a plan. They feel hopeful. And then their world crashes back in on them. They go back to their life. This is why 80% of people take more time. It's a psychological thing. Over time, staying in touch with them. And so you just keep them in TEAMZY. You follow up the next day, you follow up a couple of days after that. Maybe each time you might back off the follow-up time a little bit, but always set another follow-up. Some people might take a year. Those people might end up being your best builders. And so the TEAMZY system looks like this. You put your people in there, you rank them. TEAMZY tells you, here's who to connect with today. Start some great conversations. As you're having conversations, some will fizzle out, and that's fine. They'll cycle back in TEAMZY. It may take having, conversations over a couple of years before somebody's interested in really getting into talking about isogenics. That's okay. It doesn't take but a second to message them and keep going through your list. But every single week, you will be sharing and putting people on that follow-ups list. And every month, as you're working through these power hours, people on that follow-ups list will convert. And this is how we get an average result of 21 customers and 9 recruits every 90 days. Does this make sense? And over time, you build an army of advocates because people love it. They're like, oh my gosh, I love her. She's so on top of it. You need to talk to my friend. She's the one that knows what's going on, right? And you become the center of the universe for people when it comes to nutrition and health and strength and service. And you don't ever have to be ashamed of being a network marketer. You can be proud. You can know that you're creating a team of people who are empowering others and really helping others and really have a heart to serve others. And that, gosh, you know what? It actually works. You can be successful that way. We don't have to be cutthroat in this business. Does this make sense? Okay, so the last piece, I'll just show you real quick. When Susan finally signs up, and she's going to make me work for it. I'm going to have to follow up for a while with her. And she finally signs up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to her record. I can look her up in the lookup bar, or I can just click on her name here to jump to her record. And first thing I'll do is I'm going to click the sale button just to log that there was a sale. Now, this is very simplified because we don't want a list of all your products and overwhelm you. So let's say she got a product pack. Great. Save it. And then you can go in and you can tag what she got. Maybe she started with a 9-day. Okay. So you tag all the products that they're using so that you have a record of those in tags, which is another training, but it's very useful to know what products people are using, right? And then right here, it says member type. I'm going to move her from prospect to associate by clicking on this, personally enrolled. Okay. Or she just came in as a retail customer, great customer. But by clicking that member type, it changes her list in TEAMZY and where she comes up for relationship building. Make sense? Simple. How cool is that? I know, it's awesome. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna give you guys some action steps. And then if you wanna ask me questions, I'll be happy to stay and answer some. Let me quick give you your action steps. Where am I? Here we go. So first off, go to teamzy.com, get your 30-day free trial if you're not already doing it. If you're in a 30-day free trial now, set up your subscription so you don't miss a beat. Now, TEAMZY, as Susan mentioned at the beginning of our call, TEAMZY is very inexpensive. If you're familiar with CRM softwares, they're usually very expensive. TEAMZY is less than $1 a day. Okay, $29.99 a month for TEAMZY ongoing, and you can get a better discount even if you do it 12 months at a time. But I'm here to tell you something kind of cool today, that we're doing a summertime special right now for Isogenics. So right now for the summer, you can actually lock in a third off the price. So you can get TEAMZY for $19.95 a month. And if you lock it in, as long as you're a TEAMZY subscriber, that price will never change for you. How cool is that, right? So $19.95 a month. And again, that's the summertime thing. Let your team know. If you guys are already, a TEAMZY family member and you're paying $29.99 a month, I want you guys to know you guys can take advantage of this too. Just email support@teamzy.com, support@teamzy.com, and just ask them, hey, can I take advantage of this summertime sale and get the special pricing? And we'll adjust it for you. Okay. So that's pretty cool. So go to teamzy.com, start your free trial, get started on your subscription. Okay. Set it up even before it ends so you can lock in the pricing. You won't get billed until after the free 30 days. We make sure no matter what happens, you always get a free 30 days to try TEAMZY. Okay. I also highly recommend you get a 30-day success partner to do your trial with you. And, for years and years and years, my business partner, Mike Lopez, and I, we've been running these boot camps. We've been doing them in other industries. And then for the past 2 years, we've been doing them network marketing boot camps. Susan, you were in boot camp with us. And the success partner makes it so powerful. So you guys need to do this now. So get a success partner just for 30 days, try each other out. Maybe you don't want to be success partners for life. You might not get along. I mean, say, let's do it for 30 days. Hold each other accountable to doing this together. And what I want you to do with your success partner, share your goals with them. What are your daily targets in TEAMZY? And when you're done with your power hour, take a screenshot, message it to your success partner. There's probably few things in life that are more annoying than getting that message from your success partner when you have not done your power hour yet. But that's a good annoying, right? It's a good annoying because you will get more things done this way. I know, look, I know that every single one of you who stayed on for a whole hour with me tonight is going to go check out TEAMZY. But I also know that 50% of you won't do a thing in it unless you have a success partner. So that's why I recommend it. And the third action step is my 5-day challenge. I challenge you guys to use TEAMZY for 5 days in a row. Okay, use TEAMZY for 5 days in a row. And during that time, connect with 100 people. So it's an average of 20 a day. You could do this. Your arms and legs won't fall off. This 5-day challenge is so important because a lot of you believe the stories that you tell. I got a couple smiles out of that. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't get anything to happen. How do I build momentum? My market is tapped out, right? Look, if you do the 5-day challenge, you'll be so overwhelmed with messages. Some of you will probably message me and be like, what are you doing to me, Eric Johnson? You're ruining my life. I got people messaging me constantly. I want you to feel how much momentum you can create in 5 days. And I don't want you to ever sit and revel in inactivity again. I want you to get moving. Let's go do it. I'll jump into TEAMZY for the next 5 days and go. I can't even tell you how many times people will message me and say, I fell off TEAMZY for a few months and oh my gosh, I need to get back in and I need to go. Why? Because they know about the momentum you can cause. So just try it 5 days in a row. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Okay, get in there, create some energy. And the thing is, as leaders, you're not going to listen to it anymore either. When the team calls, they're like, you should try TEAMZY for 5 days. Come on. Just message a bunch of people. You'll see what happens. People start responding. You guys, I've been teaching this now for several years. There is no time in history where this has worked better than it does now because people are we were already hungry for human interaction in our world where we've just kind of disconnected. Now we are physically distanced from each other. People, I mean, when you reach out and to make somebody's day, it really will make their day. There are so many people who feel so alone and isolated right now. And you can really make a difference. So I encourage you guys to go in and do that. Okay. And after your 30-day free trial, we will be happy to support you. I will be so excited to be part of your success story. And hopefully we will be able to have you introduce me on one of these calls, telling people, yeah, I doubled, as nonchalantly as Susan did. I doubled my business, wrote my book. It was great, TEAMZY, right? I want that to be your story too, because I truly believe every single one of you has it in you, everything that you need to be successful. So thank you so much. And if you guys have questions, I'll be happy to hang out. You can unmute and ask away. I'll be happy to answer questions for you.
Hey, Eric. Chris here from Green Bay. How are you?
Hi, Chris. How's it going?
Good. Hey, I have a question for you. You had mentioned something about having a specific program specific for Isagenix. How do we know if we're in that program since we've been on it since like earlier last year? Because I don't recall having that button to put the sale in and that kind of stuff on mine, or maybe it's different when you save it to your cell phone or not.
Yeah.
But
you know what? The easiest way to do that is when you go into your account.
Okay.
On the left-hand side, it'll be your name. And right underneath it, it has the ranks. And if you click on those ranks and they are Isagenix ranks, you're in the Isagenix version.
No, I don't think I am.
So, all right. So if you don't see, associate consultant manager, crystal manager, director, whatever, then you're not. And so it's no big deal. It's super easy to switch you over to the Isagenix version. Just the same email address I gave you before, support@teamzy.com.
Okay.
Just say, hey, I need to be on the Isagenix version, please.
Okay,
And,
that's perfect because I am not on it and I'm like, nope, it just says my name. It doesn't say anything else in there.
Yeah. So and again, everything will migrate over. And it'll be seamless on your end. We'll just we keep the data completely separate from each network, so there's no way any of the data could ever fall into the hands of somebody else. Just
perfect.
So yeah. And so, we have like all the top security and everything to make sure that it's like secure. It's more secure than your Gmail account that you put everybody's name into.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Sure thing.
Hi, Eric. It's Michelle Pilati from Suffield, Connecticut. Just wanted to thank you for doing this call. I started doing TEAMZY a couple of months ago, and I really like it. I did notice one little thing, and I don't know if it's just specific to mine or some of my customers / associates / prospects are listed in all 3 categories. Is that just something that happened with the migration? And if I delete them from one, do I delete them from the whole thing, or how do I handle that?
That's a great question. Okay, so a couple things. It's not possible for them to exist in more than one category, and it's not possible for 2 people to be automatically imported with the same name. So something must have happened where one version has the middle initial and another version doesn't, or there's like 2 spaces. So in other words, like maybe they wrote their name differently on Facebook than they do on Instagram, or from the back office. So when you imported them, TEAMZY didn't recognize them as being the same and put them in different places. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But if you search, so Michelle, if you go into TEAMZY and search like the first few letters of one of these people exists in a couple places, you should see their name show up 3 times. It's just showing you that they're duplicated. Okay. Does that make sense? Yep. So look, let me just show you how to do it real quick. So for those of you guys who haven't done it yet, like you can't actually, like if you import your back office first and you have Facebook friends that are on your team, when you import your Facebook list, it won't bring those people in twice because it already sees them unless their name's totally different. Okay, so what you're gonna do is, can you see my TEAMZY page, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna go to the team page, that's where I am now, and go on tools. Okay. And you can go into this merge contacts tool. And then you just, you start putting in their name, okay?
Okay.
So I don't actually have any duplicates, but if you had duplicates, then you would, you would put in the duplicates, and then it's going to ask you which data you want to keep. And then when you merge them, you only have one. Okay. Okay. Now you can also just delete, like, oh, I know this person's, this is a dupe. I can just delete the extra if you want to. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So whatever is more appropriate, but you can clean those up. It shouldn't have happened too many times. There's probably just a few of those. I'm betting.
Yeah, there's I think just a couple. One lady for sure just keeps coming up in different categories like every other day.
Yeah, I know, like I do Eric P. Johnson sometimes and Eric Johnson. So that's how you might get me twice if you imported me from lists. Like whenever I do something official, like on that I do, I put the P because Eric Johnson is such a generic name. You'll never find me, right? At least that helps it a little. So who else has a question? Those are easy questions.
Eric, I just have a question. I know that I did the boot camp and we've talked about this before, but I love doing voice messages, and I know that you kind of steer away from that. But I do voice messages mostly for birthdays.
Yeah.
And I must say, I get the most beautiful messages back. Some people leave me voice messages back. And when I'm sort of going back and looking, you're talking in the beginning, we're just talking about relationship building and all that. I can trace back birthday messages to new people that have joined. So, I mean, everyone has a birthday every year anyway, but yeah. The timing of it all and the way that people started following me maybe. So what do you say about that? What do you think?
I think the birthday message is the perfect opportunity to use a voice message. I love it for that. The reason why I don't love voice messages when you are trying to like follow up on a business thing. I mean, you can do it every once in a while strategically, Susan. Like, so if you followed up 8 times and I haven't responded, you might do a voice message just to say, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm thinking about you. I'm here for you, like that, strategically. But not to do it every time, because what happens is if it's a message that I just want to get without opening, I cannot get it without opening it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And for me, like, for example, birthday is perfect because you don't expect them to hear it on their birthday, really, because they're getting so many messages. They're going to catch up with it and the meetings, you know what I mean? So that's a perfect example of when it's a great time to do it. You can even do videos. I've received videos of people singing me happy birthday. So it's great, and their kids are running around and stuff. It's like, talk about relatable, right? So I think that's great in those situations. Yeah. But if you just wanted somebody to get it really quick, they can't if it's a voice message. And I have to, there's lots of times where people will message me, leaders in this business, who are like, hey, a couple things, Eric. And they send me like 6 60-second voice messages.
Right.
You know, it's like you start to listen to it, and it's like you see the next one's popping in. It's like, oh my gosh. So you know, it's kind of like I'll have to listen to these later, right? And hopefully I remember. So that's the only thing. That's the only, as my business partner Mike would say, the caveat. He always says the caveat is just to keep in mind what's easiest for them.
Right.
And so I agree that voice messages can have tremendous relational impact. I think birthday is a perfect example. And there are times when you can leverage that, but just keep in mind that you just want to make it as easy as possible on them getting your message. And so kind of figure out where that makes sense for you.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, Eric, this has been so great. Now, can we share this with our team that didn't make the call tonight? Can they go and do a 30-day free trial? And
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. Anyone in Isogenics can get the special pricing too over the next, few months. If you were with TEAMZY in the past, and if you were in TEAMZY in the past or currently with TEAMZY in the past, you're going to see the full price $29.99. And so the best thing to do for those people is just to tell them to send a quick email over to support@teamzy.com and ask to have it adjusted. Okay. And so that's no big deal. It's just kind of an automated system, and it just remembers what your subscription rate was last time, which is good for you guys, because this is how you get to lock in the discount pricing forever. Because once our system says, well, this discount is associated with that person, it stays with them. So.
Right, right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Eric. And if you just want to switch back to me being the host so I can make
Oh,
sure
yes.
recording goes to Cindy. I'm sure she'll want to put this on our team site. But I will pass the word, and thank you so much for your time. And there were some things that I learned too. So I appreciate it. As helpful as this has been to me, there's always something when you're, going through it like that. So thank you so much. And honestly, having TEAMZY has been a godsend for me. It really has. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, we appreciate having you in our family, and thank you for having me here with the team. God bless you all, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for coming.